failure can be your fuel and not your downfall. A lot of times when we are trying to design and attract the life that we really want, and we're focused on that vision, it's very natural and normal for these internal objections to rise up within us and say, my vision is not possible. There's just no way that is going to come true for me because I tried before and I failed. And some of us will say, I'm just not good at this. It's not going to work out for me. I tried it before. I failed. I'm not going to allow this to be a part of my vision anymore. And if you're feeling that way, I wanted to encourage you today to recognize that failure is, in almost all cases, necessary for mastery and success. Failure is one of the best teachers that you can ever have. And so it's something that we should actually embrace in life. A lot of us get hung up on the guilt of our failures, feeling bad about it, being disappointed about it, instead of realizing that there are valuable lessons that we can extract from our failures. So I wanted to give you two quick examples of why I know this to be true. So I have a friend who's a lawyer, and he handles a lot of lawsuits that come out of the developing of new technology. So let's say you have two companies that are jointly working together to develop some new special software. And they work on it for years, and finally they come up with a new technology that's very valuable. But for whatever reason, the two companies can't work out a deal. They just can't agree on the terms, and so they go their separate ways. Well, now they're fighting over who owns the rights to this new technology. But what a lot of people don't know is they may also be fighting over the rights to all the failed technologies that led to the final technology. All the failed methods, all the research, all the attempts that didn't work out can actually be just as valuable as the final product. And why is that? Because knowing what doesn't work is just as important as knowing what does work. Knowing what doesn't work will save you time and energy and money and effort if you're trying to create something new again. And so at times people will fight over that information because it's valuable. That's just one example. Another example, I don't know if there are any musicians out there listening to this right now, but if you compose music, you know this. Rarely will you hear something in your head and be able to just sit down and play it at the piano or whatever instrument that you play. If you're trying to compose something, you're going to sit there and try the chords out, and maybe you realize you need to invert the chord or change the progression, or you thought it was a major chord but it's a minor chord, or you're going to play with it, and each time you tweak it just a little bit, well, that was a failure. It was not, it was a minor failure, but you're ultimately not getting to that final product yet. It requires numerous failures, if you will, to get to that masterpiece of music that you're willing to share with others. And so those are just two minor examples, but what I'm trying to get across is there is value in failure. That is where you learn those lessons that will instruct you for future attempts. So if you are struggling with your vision, if you don't even want to claim something as your vision, but deep down inside that's what you really want, do not allow failure to oppose you to the point where you deny your vision. That is your vision, and in many cases the visions that we have are given to us because they are what we were created to do. This is why you're here. So don't give up. Allow failure to be your fuel and not your downfall. And that really is my message for everybody today. I want to encourage you to keep moving on, Keep taking those steps forward and keep designing and attracting the life that you really want.